Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It is August 11th. Lisa and Lydia with you here this morning. We'll get to your news headlines in a moment. We want to jump right into our forecast for today. Kind of a hazy sky once again this morning.
Still have that stuck wildfire smoke. Air quality on the ground is fine, so it's not bothering us. I check our air quality map frequently, and it's still filled with green, but we're definitely seeing it. Any of our sunshiny moments are kind of filtered through some of that smoke. So hazy, milky skies today, partly to mostly cloudy. It's just that your sunshine breaks won't look all that sunny. Very summer-like temperatures up into the 80s today. A little bit of mugginess out there to make it feel even warmer. Chance at a few isolated thunder showers, and honestly, that's today, tonight, into tomorrow. It's just a super unorganized weather pattern, so we can just cook any of these up really at any point. If they do get strong enough, which is most likely, of course, later in the day, in the heat of the day, hail will be our primary concern. If one can get big enough, we'd look at about a quarter to a ping pong ball sized hail, inch and a half. It's a decent chunk of ice falling from the sky. But again, it's a very isolated situation. It's not like a big widespread one or where we have a line of storms. These are just little popcorn storms that bubble up. Southwestern, south central North Dakota, down into South Dakota, probably the best bet for any of those, but it's possible anywhere. So that's today, tonight, into tomorrow. Temps still up into the 80s for tomorrow, a touch of mugginess, but not terribly sticky, so kind of a repeat day from today. Little break on Thursday, still looking 80s, not as sticky. And then on Friday, the wind picks up out of the southeast. We're warmer, we're muggier, and we wait for a system of rain to move in. This is one of those low pressure systems, so it's more of a bigger, widespread type of system that we've really been lacking. It can bring in some really beneficial moisture. Right now, it looks like western North Dakota is kind of the focus. I would say even west of Highway 83, so more like Dickinson, Williston, kind of Bismarck, Minot. But we'll watch how any of that shifts. It's very similar to like winter forecast when we talk about the low coming over the Rocky Mountains and how the track can change and shift and blah, blah, blah. So that's something we'll watch for. I think some of us will get some rain on Friday, probably heaviest out west, but honestly, we'll take what we can get at this point. So some scattered strong, maybe severe thunderstorms with that within the Friday forecast for Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Looking at 70s to about 80 and dry for the weekend, so not a bad weekend. Summer weekends are very limited at this point. So if we can get some good weather, that's not all bad. All right, thank you.
Okay, to your news headlines now. Today is primary election day in Minnesota with some big races on the ballot. Voters are casting ballots in races for governor, U.S. Senate, Congress, and state and local offices as well. One of the most watched races is the DFL primary for U.S. Senate. The winner will move on in the race to replace retiring Senator Tina Smith. There's also a wide open race for governor after Tim Walz decided not to seek another term. Polls are open right now. They stay open until 8 tonight in most places. You can find your polling location and follow the races on our Election Central page at inforum.com. In other news headlines this morning, the man accused of stealing the Honor Flight's trailer and merchandise is in the Clay County Jail today. Prosecutors say 74-year-old Robert Andert used the stolen trailer to haul his motorcycle to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Investigators used the trailer's license plate and then flock cameras to connect it to Andert's truck. Police say $35,000 worth of Honor Flight merchandise inside was later found destroyed in a burn pit at Andert's home. The theft will not impact next month's Honor Flight, which will take 220 veterans on a trip. Andert is charged with theft and criminal damage to property. Of course, stick with WDAY as we continue to track this story for you. A Fergus Falls man is charged with threatening to shoot mail carriers. Court documents say Ricky Stevens sent multiple emails to the Fergus Falls post office after being told mail carriers may walk across lawns to take the quickest route between homes. Stevens allegedly wrote, quote, "Trespassers will be shot on sight, no questions asked." The post office suspended deliveries to his home. Stevens later told police he didn't mean the threat and claimed he meant he would shoot carriers with a squirt gun. The state has suspended the license of a home daycare provider in Moorhead, saying children were at immediate risk of harm. The Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families suspended Haley Antonson's license after a report that a child was, quote, left unattended in the community. She is now barred from providing child care services, but can appeal the decision. Becker County is handling the investigation because of a conflict of interest with Clay County. The Grand Forks School Board has narrowly approved a tax incentive for a proposed development at Ray Richards Golf Course. Of course, a story WDAY has been tracking for you. The project includes 169 high-end apartments and a Sweet Shots-like driving range at the UND-owned golf course. The updated 20-year payment in lieu of taxes agreement would be reviewed after 10 and then also at 15 years. The project still needs approval from the Grand Forks County Commission and the Grand Forks City Council. The County Commission is expected to take it up on August 18th. This is a cool story. Future astronauts could have UND to thank when they use the bathroom on the moon. NASA chose UND to test a wastewater purification system that could one day be used by astronauts orbiting the moon or maybe even living on a lunar base. Over the next 3 years, crews will test ways to purify wastewater and turn solid waste into safe fertilizer that could eventually, maybe, help grow plants on the moon. A big headline across the country right now. Parents are getting conflicting guidance on which vaccines their children would receive or should receive. President Trump has signed an executive order recommending children get shots for 11 diseases, down from 18 recommended by the CDC. The plan also calls for splitting the combined measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine into 3 separate shots. The American Academy of Pediatrics is calling the changes dangerous, warning more children could contract preventable diseases. And we're learning new details about an elaborate deception used to protect President Trump from an Iranian threat. The Washington Post reports that when the president left the NATO summit in Turkey last month, that the Air Force One that reporters watched him board took off without him. Trump reportedly slipped out the other side, got into an airport catering truck, and was driven to a smaller military jet. Reporters on Air Force One had no idea the president was not on board. Coming up on Hot Mic this morning with Dom Izzo, the Bison are now just 18 days away from their season opener against Jacksonville State. Head coach Tim Polasek will have the latest from fall camp. Hot Mic is live from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra. It's also streaming on Inform.com, which is a good reminder because now is a great time to get that Inform.com subscription. It's your all-access pass to all these news, weather, sports headlines. Just go to Inform.com/subscribe to check out some great deals that we have going on right now. And join us for our next newscast. It's coming up at 11 this morning, and then we have you covered this afternoon starting at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning with First News from 5 to 7 a.m. Have a great day, everyone.